Hello, good citizens. How's my hair? I heard somebody laugh. Dark Man, Scott H, what's going on? Hey, wait a minute. How's it going? Winnipeg. Yikes. Cold there or what? Walt K. Wolfie Gladly, Accountability Inspector. What is going on, brother? Roscoe II from Calgary. Calgary. What to do today? How's Saturday going for everyone? Is it Saturday? Oh, yeah, it is. Victoria, not how it used to be when I was a kid. Yeah, I can say the same. 16 people in here? Wow, that's my record. Oh, damn. Wolfie Gladly, a broken foot. Dude, what happened? You got to be careful of those feet because you only get two. Oh, it went from 16 to 13. I guess everyone was expecting a First Amendment audit. Oh, yeah. Happy Father's Day. Yeah, thanks, Scott H. My father passed away in 2005, so Father's Day is never really that big of a deal to me. And I didn't have kids, so I'm not a father, so be it. Coming to Oceanside for audits. Lots of stories for locals. Hi from Qualcomm. Cool. Thanks, Keeper78P. Darkman1301 is in Trinidad and Tobago. Hit the thumbs up. Thanks, Wolfie. Thanks, Wolfie Gladly. Born in 68, Victoria, left in 99. Huh? I actually, yeah, we'll get into it. It's a long story. Martial arts takedown. Wolfie Gladly. Buddy, you got to be careful with that. Thanks, Scott H. Yeah, I've got more of a radio face than a video face, but whatever. Roscoe II went to Claremont. Cool. Sorry to hear, Scott H. So I did want to jump on here and say a couple things because I posted 2 videos in the last week. First thing I should say is thanks to San Joaquin News Network. He shared my video last week, and I went from kind of 0 to hero with that. And then I posted another video. Oh, it's Sunday today. Is it Sunday today? I keep thinking it's Saturday. Ugh. Anyways, how's everyone's Saturday going? I should have asked you that yesterday because it's Sunday. So anyways, last Saturday I posted a video and San Joaquin News Network shared it. And then yesterday, Saturday, I posted another video and I got a lot of ignorant comments on that with the backup camera guy, Bruce Dean, what happened with him. And it's kind of funny because like people are just like, oh, you failed. oh, you could have resisted. You should have caught, shot him with a gun. Huh? And it's just kind of funny because a lot of people just don't even know what they're talking about. They don't even know what they're looking at, and they're making the most ignorant comments. Some of those ignorant comments I've ever seen on YouTube. And so I wanted to do a sort of like a quick follow-up video for why he did what he did. If you haven't seen it, I won't spoil it for you. So there is a video for that. And if you're wondering why he did what he did, there's, I think it's like 19, 20-minute video that explains why he did what he did. Um, and so a lot of people are like, I guess you could call it victim blaming. It's kind of funny. Some people are they're literally victim blaming. They saw what happened and they're like, oh well that's your fault that you got victimized. It's like, can you imagine if someone got raped and they're like, oh well that's your fault because you did that and you went with this and you did that and that was your choice, so you getting raped is your fault. Yeah, right. Pretty stupid. um it's gonna jump on the comments here. Holy, 21 people, wow, that's a new record. Previous record was 16. Bobby Blander is still out there videoing. Well, that's a good question. The videos that I've been putting out recently, they were all filmed or video recorded in 2018, and my cameras, which some of them still had footage on from previous videoings, those were all seized when I was arrested. For those of you that don't know, the videos I'm putting out are part of a 10-part series that I was working on in 2018. Didn't make it to 10 parts. While in the process of doing this project, I got arrested. The police seized all of my cameras and they put me through a criminal prosecution. Won't go into detail, I won't go into spoilers, but I just got my cameras back in April 2020. And that's why I'm releasing this material now. So am I still videoing? Not really. No. Most of the videos you're seeing right now are all from 2018. They're literally from 2 years ago. So right now, no, I'm not videoing. Right now, I'm trying to work on publishing the material that was seized in 2018. And basically what happened was because they put me through a criminal prosecution, I was then sort of documenting that. So it would be, I'm losing my singing voice here. It would be foolish for me, or really anyone, who's been arrested and had all their property seized and is facing criminal charges for public photography to continue to go out and do it. And I'm sure there's going to be an ignorant comment about, yeah, you should have resisted, should have shot him with a gun. Anyways, when you're already facing criminal charges, you're probably already on bail. And so they now have you on conditions, which if you break those conditions or if you start committing more crimes, that just has a snowball effect. So how many lawyers do you want to hire? How many days off work do you want to take off to go do court appearances when you keep getting charged and you don't have any answers? And so basically what I had to do, well, I had to do it because they took all my cameras. I had to basically shut down my channel for the last 2 years. So in spring 2018, that's when I started doing the material that you're seeing now. And I haven't really published a lot because I had to kind of wait for this criminal matter to clear up. Really what I wanted to do is get a judge's decision because in Canada, well, for those of you that don't know, I'm in Canada. I'm not a First Amendment auditor. I don't do First Amendment audits. So in Canada, we don't really have extremely solid case law on stuff like this. So that's what I wanted, is I wanted a judge's decision. And without going into spoiler territory, I basically had to shut down my YouTube channel for the last 2 years in order to get that, or to hope to get that. So to answer your question, Roscoe, or sorry, Bobby Bland, no, I'm not still out videoing, but that may happen in the future. It's just right now, to me, right now, the most important thing is to get this material out, and it's all raw footage, it's all unedited, so I've got to spend my weekend throwing together videos so that I can publish one, hopefully every Saturday, and so. I also work full time. I'm an essential worker, a frontline worker. So I work full time. I went from sort of regular hours to now I'm working a lot more hours per week. Excuse me. Excuse me. um, so still out videoing? No, but you're going to see me still out videoing from 2018. And you're going to see a lot of basically what I did was I documented my criminal prosecution over the last 2 years. It's very different in Canada than it is in the United States. If you look through my YouTube channel, you'll see that I've posted some videos about me going to court. And you may see some comments in there where people go, "Oh, why didn't you just use the court video?" Or "Why didn't you just use the court audio?" Ugh. And the reason for that is because I don't live in the United States. Imagine that. There's people on the internet that don't live in the United States. So in Canada, you can't use the court video because they don't give that out to anyone. And you can't use the court audio because they don't give that out to anyone. And you can't do really the only thing that the public really has access to is a judge's decision. So if you want to know anything about a court case, you have to know the name of the style of the cause of action, that and the court file number, and who the accused was, or whatever. And then you can go to the registry and ask for a copy of the judge's decision, and that's all you get. You don't get anything else. So if you're an accused person in a criminal matter, or you're their lawyer, or you're the prosecutor, or you're some sort of other judicial officer, you have access to what's called the DARs, or the digital audio recordings from the trial or hearing or whatever. So a lot of times I had to go and make an appointment with the court to listen to that, and then take notes, and then publish that. So a lot of people are like, "Oh, this video is bogus. This is totally made up." So the other option, there's one other option, and that's to have a copy of the transcript. So the court's recording the audio, and then if you want to order a transcript, you have to know uh, the court file number, the court file, or the courtroom, uh, the charge or charges, the judge, all kinds of stuff. And then you can order a transcript, and you have to pay for it. You have to actually pay for it up front. So it could be like a couple $100s. I paid for one the other day. It was a half day in court. It was $350, and they don't just give those out to people. You have to know the court. Like I said, you have to know everything about the case, and then you have to order it on a form. You have to prepay for it, and then they give it to you. So that's what you're going to see coming sometime soon. Is you're going to see what I went through when after they arrested me, after they seized all my cameras, and they put me through a criminal prosecution. So I'm not out videoing, but you're going to see me documenting a criminal prosecution for public photography in Canada over the last 2 years, as much as I can do it. There's a lot of stuff that I'm not allowed to do, like disclosure or discovery or whatever you want to call it. Um, that's confidential. You can't just put that out there. So there's a lot of stuff that I can't put out. There's some stuff that I can. Um, Very interesting stuff that you're gonna see. This you're not gonna believe. I won't go into detail here, but yeah, there's some really crazy stuff that's coming down the pipe. See who else commented here. Have I done any audits with Orange Man? No, I haven't. Uh, Orange Man. There's another. Hey, wait a minute. Out of curiosity, run across Orange Man audits or Canadian Rights Media. No, I can't really comment too much on those channels. There's some things going on between us that are unfortunate, and we're not going to be working together at all. And I can't really comment. I don't want to bring up issues. I didn't really start this live stream to talk about those guys, so it's unfortunate, but no, I haven't run into them. And from what I can tell, they don't want to have anything to do with me, and that's fine. They got their own channels. They're doing their own thing. Um, it's kind of funny because I started doing this to basically put out the information out there that people could use in Canada to do this without sort of being inaccurate about it. Because uh, prior to 2018, way before Orange Man audits or even Canadian rights media, um, there was a guy in BC. I won't say his name, but there was a guy in BC who was doing this for years, and he had some difficulties with being accurate. And I think what his biggest mistake was, he would watch First Amendment audits and he would apply everything they said in Canada. And so when I'd watch him, I'd be like, buddy, you're getting this wrong. Like, and then people would comment on his video and say, well, you should have done this. Well, you should have done that. Well, you should have said this. And I'm like, no, you can't do that in Canada. And he's like, oh, okay, cool. I'll do that next time. And I'm like, no, don't do that. Don't say that. You can't do that in Canada. So back in, I think it was 2007, 2017, I decided that I was going to make an informative video on what the differences in doing this between the United States and Canada. And I was about to publish that in August 2018, but I was arrested before that, and the gear that was seized had all that on it already. I'd already written and recorded it, and so I was thinking, well, maybe I can just put it out there now anyways. But since I was being criminally prosecuted, I didn't want to give them any more information that they already had, which they didn't really have any information to begin with. So what I wanted to do is put out an informative video of what the difference between doing this is in Canada and the United States. That video is now on this channel. It was published, I think, 3 weeks ago. So if you haven't seen it, check it out. If you've ever wanted to know what the difference is between doing this in the United States and Canada, there's an hour-long informative video on this channel. Like I said, just go to click my videos and hit, like I said, 3 weeks ago. So, yeah. So, yeah. Anyways, it's unfortunate, but no, I'm not going to be working with those guys. Oh, phone's ringing. I'm going to put you guys on hold for a sec. Oh, my secretary took it. Back to the comments here, like I said. Wow, lots of comments. Yeah, good point, Scott H. If they think they can do better, they should be out there doing it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, easy to criticize. Yeah, oh, yeah. Exactly. Roscoe the second. Trolls. Yeah. Roscoe the second. No, they weren't erased. Nope, they weren't erased. They're still there. They'll stuff you and Wilkie. Yeah, they already have stuffed me and Wilkie without a criminal record. I spent 2 weeks in there for a crime I could not have committed. That's all on the court's record. But there's a 7-part series on my YouTube channel here. I think it's called Crooked Prosecutors, Lies and Crimes or something. It's a 7-part series. If you want to see sort of why I got into making these videos, check it out. It's very long. It's very detailed. That's one of the things I was saying about earlier, where people were commenting, why don't you just use the court video? Why don't you just use the court audio? Well, you can't. You're not allowed to do that. You can't. They'll never give it to you in Canada. Bobby Bland says, how can they possibly make charges stick for public photography? I still haven't figured that out. I have a theory. I have a wild theory, but I don't know. I don't know how they make it stick. I really don't. Thanks, John Parker. Smash the like button. By the way, if you guys want to subscribe to my channel or share my content, I don't really care if you do or don't. I don't make these videos to get famous or make money. I make these videos not because I want to, but because I have to. One thing you'll notice in the video from last week where I was at Nanaimo, I actually said to the guy, because he was like, do you have a permit for this? And I was like, no, I don't make a dime. It's not monetized or anything. Well, shortly after that, I was arrested and I had all these court costs. So I was like, okay, well, now I'm going to monetize it because now I have to, not because I want to. So I went years, or I shouldn't say years. I went, I don't know, 2 years on this channel. And one of the videos went viral. It had close to 2 million views. And I still didn't monetize it because I just didn't care. But now that I have all these court costs, now it's monetized. So if you're wondering why I say that in the video, it's not monetized or anything, but it is now. Because of the arrest shortly after that and the court costs that are associated with being criminally prosecuted. Don't forget the Oak Bay Police. Awesome. Roscoe the second. Oh, I missed one here. What amazes me is how the Rhode Island. Yeah, that's true. So that's actually what to do today. That's actually a specialized unit called the CRD IRSU or IRSU, the Integrated Road Safety Unit. And so what they do is they take like a police officer from one department and three police officers from another department, and they kind of do that all over the CRD area. For those of you that don't know, it's Capital Regional District. And they make a team, and that's all they do is they go out and they enforce traffic safety. So that's that group that you're talking about there, what to do today. It's the CRD IRSU. Check it out on Google. Don't forget and Roscoe Second says, don't forget the Oak Bay Police. Well, there's still more episodes coming. I haven't been arrested yet. I've only had 2 episodes come out, so I won't spoil it, but there's more coming, so stay tuned. PA News and Info, PA News and Info. Hello. When arrested, how long were you in the cell? They didn't actually put me like in a jail cell. I was just kind of in the booking area. I think I was there for a little over an hour. PA News and Info, PA News and Info. Did you win? You'll have to tune in and find out. UK Freedom Audits. Hello. Lady Zaga. Cheers. Hello. Hey, wait a minute. Interesting. Hey, hang on. I got a cat climbing on stuff. Get off there. Anyways, cats will do what they want. And the de facto, no doubt, Jason Freeman. For to watch the vids. We need case law in Canada regarding public photography and videography, specifically by citizens and videographers. Yeah, we do. There is some case law that's not very specific to this. That's one thing that I also included in that hour-long informative video that goes over the differences between doing this in the United States and doing it in Canada. Is there's a lot of Canadian case law towards the end of the video. Check it out if you haven't seen it already. but I agree with you. Keeper 78P is we definitely need some more specific case law in Canada. Okay. Thanks, Bobby Bland. Stay tuned. Have a good day. Have a good Sunday. Oh. Holy cow, there's a lot of comments. Just had their own made up information. Yeah. What was the trumped up charge? It's heavy spoiler materials, and you got to see. I want you guys to see this as you were intended to see it in 2018. So you know the old saying, "Clicks and views can wait." Well, I guess it's not an old saying. You know the new saying, "Clicks and views can wait." Well, I already knew that 2 years ago when they arrested me, and I didn't put anything out there. I didn't, you know, no call to action, no call flood, which is illegal in Canada, by the way. I wanted to hold off and keep my mouth shut and come back and put everything out there for you guys to see in the way that you're intended to see it. So I won't go over what the trumped up charge was, but spoiler alert, yeah, there's trumped up charges. Absolutely. So seeing everything work in different parts of the world, stay safe, everyone. Yeah, cool. Summary or indictable offense. Yeah, that's right. Dad Gingerhead man. That first video that I put up 2 weeks ago, where I'm in Nanaimo, that's actually the first Canadian audit. I don't call them audits, but that's actually the first Canadian video where somebody actually says the correct terminology. Everyone else has been wrong all along. No one said it right. They all go, is that a misdemeanor or felony? Which we don't have in Canada. So the ginger head man, that's right. If they say you're doing something suspicious or it's a safety issue or whatever you say in Canada, and I go over this in my hour-long video, which I wrote and recorded in 2018, you say, is that a summary, hybrid, or indictable offense? Technically, you don't have to say hybrid because hybrid could be either side, summary or indictable. I would like to be the most technical though, so I'm always going to say, is that a summary, hybrid, or indictable offense? But if you don't want to be super technical like me, you can just say, is that a summary or indictable offense? Excellent. I love accuracy. Inherent rights are not nation-based. That's true. Jason Freeman, inherent rights are not nation-based. What police force arrested you? Well, if I told you that, that would spoil the video coming up in the near future. So as I said, I want you guys to watch it as you were intended to see it. No spoilers. And when you see it, oh man, I've watched it like over 100 times, and it still cracks me up. Anyways. Yeah, sorry, Jason. I can't tell you because it's just spoiler material. But you will definitely see it. You'll definitely see it. Any progress on your civil stuff? There's an update I'm going to have about there's a police officer that assaulted me in 2016 when I was taking pictures of a police roadblock. It's that traffic safety unit I was talking about earlier, the CRD IRSU. I'll have an update on that. I don't know when. It's not really a big deal about that. It's I won't go into it here, but it's not really pressing news. It's not nearly as important as the material I'm putting out right now. So I'm kind of focusing on that. But I will have an update on that. Thanks, Pinball, for being interested in my vids. Thank you. Contempt of cop charge. Yeah, you know it. Can you curse the police legally? Uh, you can look up the Criminal Code of Canada, and I forget the number code, but it's called causing a disturbance. Or even better, go to my hour-long informative video where I go into the not case law per se, but the ins and outs of causing a disturbance in Canada. Yes, you can curse at the police in Canada. You can swear at them. But if you're, say, video recording, like say you're doing like a audit or something similar, which what I call a fundamental freedoms evaluation in Canada, if you're video recording and you're swearing at the police and you're acting aggressive or whatever, and they arrest you and they charge you and they seize your camera, they now have a video of you doing that. And that video is probably going to it's going to provide a basis for their allegations, and it's going to look like their allegations are legit. So if you don't swear at the police and you don't yell at them and you don't act aggressive, and that's on video and you get arrested and charged, that's a lot easier to fight in court. Where if you're jumping up and down and yelling at them and swearing at them, and you're going to use that as your defense, that may not work out in your favor, especially if you're paying a lawyer $30,000. So, oh, Canadian Rights Media is here. Hi, someone just contacted me saying that there's things happening between us. How can you say that? We've never talked. Never said I didn't want to do anything. Well, didn't start this live stream to get into it, but since you asked, I've commented on your channel several times, and my comments always seem to disappear after a short amount of time. I have other channels on YouTube, so what I do is I sometimes log out and I switch my accounts, and I go and check and see if people are allowing me to comment on their channels, and sometimes they are, and then I'll check an hour later and my comments are gone. So that's how that works. Contract law. Learn how to not consent with honor. Yeah, it wasn't referring to you. Just watch the clip where he said, oh. That maybe one. Nothing. So yeah, Canadian Rights Media is here still. Just wanted to watch the clip where he said he hasn't met me and that I want nothing to do with him. And that's true. I did say that. And that's, like I said, that's based on me commenting on your channel, switching out to other accounts. I have many different YouTube channels, which I cover many different topics on YouTube. And I find it interesting that when I switch to another account and go back and see if my comment is still there, and then an hour later it's gone, it's kind of tells me what's going on there. And that's kind of how it all started with Orange Man audits. I won't get into that here, but didn't really have an issue with Canadian Rights Media until I kind of found out how Orange Man Audits handles his comments on his videos. And that kind of tipped me off to, well, maybe I should be looking into other channels and see if they're allowing me to comment on their channel. So that's how it all kind of started. And, you know, I don't really have a problem with Canadian Rights Media, just that my comments just seem to disappear after an hour or so. And that's fine. It's his channel. He can do whatever he wants. Same with Orange Man Audits. I think the original issue with Orange Man Audits was he might have just thought that I was just there to like pull his subscribers away from his channel to my channel. I don't really know, but anyways, that's how that all started. So if you comment on a channel that's similar to yours and your comment is there, but an hour later it's gone, there's an issue there, and it's obviously that that person doesn't want you visible on their channel in their comment section, and that's fine. That's their channel. They can do whatever they want. No, yeah. So Canadian writes me. He says, "I understand that we can't meet in BC, and I'm in Alberta, but I've never refused to work with him." No, he's never refused to work with me, but I've never asked. We have very different styles. I don't do what Canadian Rights Media does. I don't do that. I find that very dangerous in Canada. That's, as I said earlier, that's more of a First Amendment audit. That's not really what I do. I do something different. And I said, and as I said, our styles are too different to work together. Same with Orange Man audits. Our styles are way too different to even work together. I wouldn't do what those guys do. You will never see me do their routines. It's different in Canada. You can't just watch First Amendment audits and then do that in Canada. You have to base this completely on Canadian material, and that's why I tried to put out that hour-long video in 2018, because there was a guy in BC who was doing just that. He'd been doing it for years, way before any of us started our channels. And as I said, he was basically just repeating what they say in the States. Is that a misdemeanor or felony? I'm going to do a FOIA request. Your feelings don't trump my rights. Policy isn't law. That's all incorrect. If you say that in Canada, that's all incorrect. So watch my hour-long video on the differences between doing this in the United States and Canada. And that's why I made that video. That's why I put it out. I tried to put it out in 2018, but it didn't work out that way. And that's fine. Who's Alex Yellow Vase from Vic PD? Oh my god, that's hilarious. Robin Moran. Hi, Robin. 32-year-old female in Canada. Yeah, Robin's got an interesting story. I don't know really anything about it, but Robin's been on my live streams before, and Robin definitely has an interesting story about doing this in Canada. It's like I've never refused. No, no, you're right. You've never refused, but like I said, when my comments are there 1 hour and then gone the next hour, there's something going on there. So, and that's fine. Like I said, it's your channel. You can do whatever you want. Mm-hmm. Yeah, good comment there, Jason Freeman. Let's go saying the Crown must have a lot of pressure on the cops. Yeah, that's a good comment there, Roscoe II. But the Crown is also supposed to be independent of the cops, so the cops really can't pressure the Crown, and the Crown can't really pressure the cops, other than to make sure that what you're bringing to the Crown is legit. How do the cops in Canada compare to the cops in the USA? That's a great question. I think it really depends on where you live, in the United States or in Canada. Headbanger 69 says both suck. Yeah, that's a good point, Robert Morin. The justice of the peace and assistant Crown attorneys are personal friends with the police outside their jobs. Yeah. I don't know if you guys know this, but in Canada, the district attorney or the prosecutor, we call them crown counsel or crown attorney or crown prosecutor, depending on what province you're in. But a lot of times, crown prosecutors are they get uh, called to they end up being judges after a while. So your experiences with judges are going to vary a lot if you're ever in criminal court in Canada, where uh, one judge may have been a former defense lawyer and another judge may have been a former prosecutor. And you can usually tell right away what the judge used to be. Was the judge used to be a defense lawyer or the judge used to be a prosecutor? Canadian cops are very bad. Who's this Alex Yelovich from Vic PD? Message retracted. Too funny. So don't be like Donald Smith. Okay. Oh, there he is. News Now Canada Independent Media. Hi, Donald. Cops are paid to lie, but we can't. Good comment there, Jason Freeman. Hi from Cranbrook. Hi, Bubs41. Asso. We'll be back when the charges get dropped. The Saint. Jesus Christ is coming soon. Y'all please pray and repent and get right. Okay. You do realize that I have a helper with me with my comments, says Canadian Rights Media. Don't know if that's directed at me, but no, I don't know that. I don't know how I'd know that. Oh, and he deleted his message. Okay. News Now Canada, Independent Media. Dottie will be back soon. Right on, brother. Stop worshiping idols, jeez. Maybe you should talk to your helper, CRM. Yeah, maybe. That's the thing is, I've always thought that this community was kind of based on the support of others. And when you support others, and then you may need their support down the road, and they basically mute you on their channel or ban you or block you or whatever. It's a real eye opener. You know, some I won't specifically mention any specific channels, but I will say it's definitely more than one where I've supported their channel, and then here I am in the last couple of weeks commenting on their channel saying, "Hey, check it out," and it all just disappears. So it's pretty petty, but that's the way it is. And like I said, it's their channel; they can do whatever they want. So, experience with U.S. police, Canadian police in Europe. I don't have any experience with U.S. police, not personally. But how do they compare to the Canadian police? Well, Canadian police in general really depend on who you run into, who you deal with. So they're all a little different. You know, they're not all the same. You can't say that all the cops in Canada are the same and all the cops in the United States are the same. So it's kind of tough to really answer that. Who died? Why you mourning? Oh, who died? Why are you mourning? Okay, I see. Ron Feldman said, "Good morning." Canadian Rights Media says, "First, I researched and got legal advice before I started." Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Well, for me personally, I wouldn't get legal advice because my experience with lawyers is they don't really know what they're talking about a lot of times. And I've had lawyers tell me not to do things specifically, and I had one lawyer actually tear a strip off me for doing something in court. And later on, it turned out that that was the right thing to do. So advice from lawyers, very hit and miss. And I've got to the point where I haven't spoken to a lawyer since 2016, not within this province that I live in, anyways. If I need to call a lawyer for anything, I'll usually go out of province. And I've talked to one lawyer since 2016. It was out of province. So I don't rely on lawyers for any kind of advice at all. I do everything all on my own. So you researched and got legal advice from a lawyer. Cool. Uh, Hopefully that legal advice was accurate. Who is this? Alex Yellow Vaz. We should do this fun chat, but I need advice on how to change my username. Daniel, we are watching you, even from Ottawa. Terrified. Hey, Glenn Quagmire's here. Giggity giggity goo. Awesome. News Now Canada Independent Media says Donnie will be back soon. I know. With a nudge and a wink to do. What parts of Canada have the best police? I don't know. I couldn't tell you. All of my life, I've lived on an island. I can. I know some police in Canada that are really nice, and some that aren't. Well, I just heard you commenting on my legal advice. The lawyer I talked to supported standing up for rights. Cool. Doesn't mean that your lawyer was accurate, though. Lawyers don't know the law when it comes to police corruption. Exactly. A good point, Robert. They don't want to stick their necks out either. That's when, yeah, exactly. So the other thing too about lawyers is lawyers have a saying, and it goes like this. And I'll remove the swear word from it. Don't poop where you eat. So a lot of people think that lawyers are going to come to bat for them for something like this. If you get arrested doing this, and you think, oh, I'll just hire a lawyer. Well, most lawyers don't even want to touch any of this. And that's because they don't want to poop where they eat. They don't want to bring the police into court. They don't want to fight the police in court. All they want to do is they want to get they want to secure a decent a 5-digit number out of your bank account so that they can show up in court with you standing there not saying anything, and they want you to take some sort of plea deal or plead guilty or whatever, so it's only half an hour in court or an hour in court, and then they can go hit up some other chump for 5 digits out of their bank account. That's my experience with lawyers anyways. 2 lawyers, 3 opinions. Yeah, exactly. Is Tom Marino still practicing? He's good. Yeah, Tom Marino is still practicing. Yeah, he's a good guy. He's a good lawyer, I guess. Never used him, but I've certainly sat and watched court a lot over the last 4 years, and he's definitely one of the main defense lawyers in Canada, in Victoria. Excuse me. Okay, stay blessed, stay safe, and stay filming police. Okay, thanks, Canadian Rights Media. Peace. No hard feelings. You can do whatever you want on your channel. It's totally fine. Yeah, Corey Gunter Smith. Hey, from New York City. Hey, Ronnie Haas. Not in Cranbrook, BC. The pigs are. Jason Freeman. Is your name Daniel? Well, technically, yeah, but nobody's called me Daniel since I was in elementary school. Everyone calls me Dan. Roscoe, cops are vindictive. They hate lawyers. Second Amendment for Canada. Hey, the Watchman. Shakespeare said, kill all the lawyers. Zaga's in Toronto. Just filed the complaint with the Office of the Independent Police Review Director. Cool. So the police will investigate themselves. Sorry to joke about that, but Yeah, obviously, if you've got a complaint to file, something bad happened, and I'm sorry to hear that. Shouldn't have made a joke about it, but sorry to hear that. I hope it goes in your favor. Last name should be Yellow Bats, as in Sergeant. Cool. Awesome. Hi, Sergeant. Second Amendment for Canada. All Western military and law enforcement and corrections are cowards, traitors to us and our rights by following and enforcing unjust immoral rights, violating laws and orders. Yeah, sounds right. Me too. Alex Yelovez from Ottawa. Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on with this Alex Yelovez account, but he's got a profile picture for the Victoria Police Department. And that's actually the name of a police officer that assaulted me. And I actually had a lawsuit against starting in 2016. So interesting that someone with that profile picture and that name would be commenting. I'm assuming it's a fake account because Alex Yellowbacks isn't actually dumb enough to come on my YouTube channel during a live stream and start commenting. But it's interesting. Greetings from Finland. Hello. What is the name of the Canadian compared to US vid? Bobby Bland. It's called First Amendment Audit in Canada? Question mark. Information you need to know! Exclamation mark. I think it's like the fourth or fifth newest video on this channel. So check it out. It's an hour long. I wrote it and recorded it in 2018. I was hoping that when this got popular in Canada, which I thought in 2018 it was going to, that Canadians were going to do this safely, lawfully, and reasonably. And that's really the trick to doing this here is you really need to go about this in a reasonable manner. In the United States, it's completely different. You can really do whatever the hell you want. In Canada, you can't do whatever the hell you want. Or if you do whatever the hell you want, you get arrested and charged. You've now got a video of you acting unreasonably, and that's never going to work in your favor. And your $30,000 lawyer is going to show up and try to make a plea deal or have you plead guilty or, charge you $30,000 for a half day in court. And then you're going to be on probation for a year or two, or have to do community work and write an apology letter to the police. I've seen it before. I've seen some people have to do that before. So lawyers, for me personally, lawyers are a big no-no. If if you have enough experience in the courts, I was going to say if you research, but anyone can research anything and still come up with inaccurate information. If you have experience in the courts, you don't really need a lawyer. And a lot of times not having a lawyer can work in your favor, but I wouldn't recommend it per se. The only thing I'd really recommend if you want to do stuff like what I do is go to court and watch bail hearings and court trials for a couple of years, and you'll know a lot of things that I know. Oh, we got some lawyer jokes coming here. The Gingerhead Man says, "What do you call 1,000 lawyers with chains around their necks at the bottom of the ocean? A good start." Yikes. The Gingerhead Man, you need a Snickers, bud. Robert says, the acronym gave my complaint directly to a copy that physically abused me, and when I refused to talk to him, they gave my case to a cop in the next city. A law over long 37 police reports involved me. Yeah, not surprised. that's usually how it goes. That's why I started my YouTube channels on these topics. That's why I make these videos, not because I want to, it's because I have to. And it sounds like you have to make some videos yourself there, Robert. Looking forward to that too. It's very interesting. Ah. Jason Freeman. Well, Jason, if they're trying to do that, I would suggest you get a uh, shop around online for some actual body cameras that run between 7 and 11 hours, and get a couple of them and have them charged up and have their memories freed up, and have at her. Hey, buddy, how's it going? Hey, Sean, it's going good, buddy. Thanks for popping in. How long has this been going now? Oh, almost an hour. Okay, I'm gonna get out of here in 5 minutes. So if you got any questions or comments or insults or love letters or death threats, try and get them in the next 4 minutes. And I'll just finish this off by saying that because the main reason why I started this live stream today was a lot of people are commenting on the videos that I'm posting, and they're saying, "Oh, you should have done this. So you should have done that, and you should have done this, and you should have said this, and you should. I would have done this, and I would have done that." And so for those of you that don't know, hello, my name is Dan. I live in Canada. I'm not a First Amendment auditor. I don't call myself an auditor. I do what's called a fundamental freedoms evaluation. And there's a big difference between doing this in Canada and in the United States. And there's an hour-long video that I posted 3 weeks ago called First Amendment Audit in Canada, question mark, information you need to know, exclamation mark. And when I post the videos of me doing these evaluations, I say at the beginning, it's different than the States. Go watch the video before watching this, and then there's text on the screen, and then there's it's in the description, it's in the pin post, and people still say, "Oh, you could have shot him with a gun. You should have resisted. You should have." So it doesn't work that way in Canada. What you see in a First Amendment audit, a lot of times, doesn't apply in Canada. So things like your feelings don't trump my rights. You can't say that in Canada. Policy isn't law. You can't say that in Canada. Don't delete that because I'm going to make a FOIA request. Well, in Canada, you have to fill out a form and give your ID, where in the States, you can make that request anonymously and verbally and receive it anonymously. So if you're trying to do this anonymous and you're telling the police that you're going to do a FOIA request on the pictures that they're taking of you, and you're trying to remain anonymous, good luck with that in Canada. Is that a misdemeanor or felony? Can't say that in Canada. It's proper Canadian terminology that people should know. There's many other things. It's an hour-long video, so check it out. Any questions here? Any love letters or death threats? Can you help me come here and become better? No, I don't think I can, not unless you're down the street. But I can help you become better. Like I said, watch that hour-long video that I posted 3 weeks ago, if you're in Canada anyways. And one of your vids, the guy you had to give us info because you smelled like weed. Can you explain that? I could, but there's a 20-minute video that explains it. I'll explain it briefly here. That guy, his name is Bruce Dean. He has been an activist since before I was born. I'm 44 years old. And he was diagnosed with osteoarthritis and chronic pain. He was permanently disabled in a rescue mission in where he saved a woman's life. He blew out both of his knees. And he's actually a two-time cancer survivor, possibly going in for a third round. And he is prescribed medical marijuana. So wherever he goes, he needs some sort of mobility aid, whether it's a cane or a longboard or a bicycle or an electric bicycle. And if he doesn't have those, he has to walk on his own on his disability, and it's very painful. And so he takes medical marijuana constantly throughout his day. Whenever he's awake, he's either smoking it or consuming an oil-based, what he calls Phoenix tears. And so he has been a photographer. He's gone to school for journalism. He's an accredited and awarded writer. Like I said, he's been an activist since before I was born. So I don't know of anyone within 1,000 miles of me that's a better person to come and do backup camera for when I do this. So he's, in my opinion, he's totally fine to smoke marijuana and smell like it as much as he likes, because he does it for, it's medically prescribed. He doesn't have an option to. A lot of people are like, oh, you should leave the pot at home if you're going to go film the police. He can't leave the pot at home. It's not an option. But the police can't use a medicinal treatment like that that's prescribed to force him to ID. They can't do that. So that's another thing that people are missing is they think that he gave up his ID and he failed. That's victim blaming, and people that are making those types of comments are completely ignorant, have no idea what they're looking at or even what they're talking about. So people that are making those comments are going to make you look like a fool. So watch the video that it's the second last video on my homepage. We speak about why he provided he didn't provide ID, he provided his license. And if you watch that video, you'll see why. He'll explain it a lot more in depth than I will here. So go watch that video. And like I said, anyone that's wants to rip him a new one because he was required to, very ignorant. You're ripping on a person, as I said, who has been an activist longer than since before I was born. He's an accredited, awarded journalist and writer. He's been a photographer since before I was born. And the stuff that this guy fights for goes way beyond anything that I've seen most First Amendment auditor type people do. So, like I said, this guy's got both his knees blown out because he saved someone's life. And, he's a 2-time cancer survivor. He's in chronic pain. He's had to live in poverty because of all that. So people that are making those comments, very ignorant, and you should be ashamed of yourself if you're making those types of comments. Go watch the video where he explains why he had to do what he had to do, and maybe the plain and easy to digest information will set in, unless you're really stupid. So that hopefully that explains that. And I'm going to jump off here relatively quick. I didn't want to really go past an hour, and it's past an hour now. They destroyed my cameras and laptops last time from Jason Freeman. Holy, really? Dang. Sorry to hear that, dude. I'm not blaming Bruce. I thought it was legal. No, I'm not saying that you're blaming him. I appreciate when people ask why. I really appreciate that. And I'm sorry if I got a little little heated on that. It wasn't directed towards you. It was directed towards the ignorant comments that are on the videos. So I apologize, Chris. I didn't mean to direct that at you. As I said, I appreciate when people ask. What I don't appreciate is when people just come out and make like wild and outrageous, ignorant comments when they don't even know what they're looking at, or they don't even know what they're talking about. So I apologize if I came off that way, Chris. But it wasn't directed towards you. I absolutely appreciate when people are intelligent like you and actually don't have the ego where they can just ask flat out, say, can you explain that, or ask why? And I really appreciate you asking. Thank you. Yeah, that's Bruce's channel. Yeah, Bruce's channel. It's linked in the Duncan RCMP video, as well as the video where he's explaining why he had to do what he had to do. His channel is called Photo Warrior Fundamental Freedoms Evaluations. Check him out. You'll see that he's a very well-known activist here in Victoria. His channel doesn't really blow up. He doesn't make videos to get famous or to look good or to bark orders at police or whatever. He makes videos to expose a lot of things to do with like homeless and poverty and things like that, and photography. Could you link his channel? I don't know if I can or not. I'm on live stream, to be honest. I don't know if it's going to shut something off, but his channel is linked in the Duncan RCMP video, and then there's a video that was posted just before that. If you just go to my homepage and click on videos, you'll see that they're the last 2 videos. There'll be links to his channel there. Thank you. Always win in court. Cool, Jason. Right on. The administrative judges save me every time. Yeah, I bet. Jason Freeman. They do, but they help. Cool. Well, I'm going to get off here. So thanks for tuning in. And thanks, Christopher, for asking. Like I said, I really appreciate when people ask, because that way we have an opportunity to explain it. And really, really appreciate you doing that. Love from Australia. Hello, Australia. Cool. Okay, well, I'm going to get off here. So if you watched the video that I posted yesterday, you'll see that I did not get arrested. Didn't provide my ID either. So that means that there's a new video coming next week, next Saturday. And I'll probably have a premiere thingy for it a couple of days before. So if you're on data, maybe don't click on it. Somebody mentioned that actually last week. They're like, oh, I used valuable data for this. And I was like, oh, dude, I had no idea people would do that. It wasn't my intention. And I totally apologized to the guy. And I was like, new videos are going to come on Saturdays. So if you see something, it probably is just a premiere thing. So don't use your data, however you want to pronounce that. So yeah, new video coming this Saturday. And there's going to be a new video every Saturday until you see me get arrested. And after I get arrested, after you see me get arrested, then I'm going to go into documenting the criminal prosecution. I don't know how that's going to work out, but it may not be a new video every Saturday, but there's going to be, I basically held back 2 years worth of content to publish now. So you're basically into, right now, you're basically into the first 3 weeks of 2 years worth of content. So there's going to be a lot coming, a lot more coming. And you're going to see a lot on this channel. You're going to need to make a lot of popcorn, folks, a lot of popcorn. I'm just going to check out the comments before I go. Thanks, Jason Freeman, for sticking around and commenting. Thanks, Sean, Sean's been a long time follower of this community. Thanks, Christopher. Oh, Christopher. I get it now. Okay. Yeah, thanks you guys for commenting. Thanks for not being ignorant. Hi to Canadian Rights Media. Sorry, you were mentioned, but I didn't start this live stream to get into that, but somebody mentioned it, so it is what it is. It's your channel. You can do whatever you want. I don't really care. No hard feelings. Hopefully I'm allowed to comment on your channel, but I've kind of learned not to now, especially after what happened with Orange Man. Yeah, pinball. Finally an auditor with knowledge in Canadian laws. Cool. Thanks, bro. Appreciate that. I'm sure you've seen my hour-long video of the differences between doing this in the US and Canada. If you haven't, check it out. It was published 3 weeks ago. All right. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Look for a new video this coming Saturday. Will it be the one that I get arrested in? Could be. Or not. Thanks for watching.